Thanks a lot for tuning in. We're going to have a fun video today. We're going to go through the list, the most evil government goon that we have. The top three evil government goons. We're actually going to go through some honorable mentions. In no particular order is... My first mention is actually a fishery officer. So he's going to tell you, he's going to have a gun, and you need to not be fishing there because the government owns this water and we need to pay them before we actually go fishing. We need to pay them a lot of money. Actually, fishing license is very expensive and stuff like that. So a lot of money going on and stuff like that with the fishery, stuff like that. So definitely it didn't make the top three, but the other honorable mention that we have is actually the ombudsman. So all these people can actually do all these things according to the act, and if we have an ombudsman on payroll, he's over there, his office is over there, then we can get groovy with everything, basically. So that's the ombudsman, definitely evil. So let's get to the list, the top three list of evil government goons. And number 3 on the position is actually RCMP officer. So you will never actually hear this person actually telling the truth. You can't base anything on what it says. It's just a nuisance, and it never actually does any arresting indictable criminals. They don't prosecute indictable offenses very often. They do actually do lots and lots of summary offense things, just like the fishery officers. It's a money-making scheme, this driving thing. So they pull you over, and they say, well, we got to go through court and stuff like that, and you have your day in court, but you go through court. We'll get to that later. So the RCMP officer, definitely number 3, very, very evil. Evil person. Every RCMP officer that ever wear a uniform, those uniforms are actually clown costumes. Number 2 on the list, the second before last, is actually a CPS worker. They're going to come around and say, oh, that's yeah, we're going to have you taking our services. Yeah, they know. It all starts with this right here. It all starts right here. Yeah, we're going to have to do our inspection. My advice, definitely John Michael's Adventures, never, and if you're a truther out there, you will share this opinion. As soon as we have to do our inspection for the children, run. And you say, no, we don't want any of your services, and you leave all your belongings behind because they will steal your children. And if you don't actually run, there is a great chance that they will steal your children. And now, oh no, we can, now since sodomy is actually accepted, we can have homosexual couples adopting these children, foster home and stuff like that. So let's talk to some people that went through the foster home system. Now let's actually have a guy that went through the foster home system. Let's actually, or a girl that, was brought up in the foster home and stuff like that, bouncing around and stuff like that. No, how about we talk to this? I'm a dad. I've had all my rights to have to be a father completely destroyed by the government. It's actually really terrible, which leads me to my number 1 most evil is actually the judges. The judges which wear the black robe and stuff like that. So a shout out to fat guy, a fat guy. Tim Landry, packed on the pounds lately, man. This guy is actually really fat. Tim Landry is a judge out of the Digby area and stuff like that. So, I mean, some judges ain't too bad like Jim Burrell, but he still put me in jail once for actually not doing a crime. But Jim Burrell found me not guilty on 3 things. So all these courts bringing all this stuff, all the CPS, and the judges are the most evil people. So Michelle Christensen, I was told by my lawyer that actually her son got a vaccine injury, but she's still working for this family court. Jean DeWolf, a very, very evil woman. Jean DeWolf, you do not, if you have this person and you're a dad and you're trying to get custody of your kids because your baby mom's not letting you see the kids and stuff like that, I would love it to spend some time with my children, but I can't because these evil, wicked people. Just that's the top 3 that are actually dealt with. So the RCMP officers in the 3rd place. CPS worker is more evil than the RCMP officer, and of course, I mean the prosecutors ain't even that bad, but the judge will accept a prosecutor's absurd claims without any evidence of it being true, and it's gonna hammer down with an iron fist. Basically, they destroy the dad completely. They give all the power to the mom. Mom never lets the dad see the children, brainwashes the children, and says, oh, your dad's such a terrible dad. He makes me feel terrible and he abuses me. So you will never actually see me abusing anybody, but I've been called an abuser because I actually talk with my mouth. They don't like what I have to say. There's actually my children's mom's mother said, "Oh, I wish somebody would shut your mouth for good." So you wish that I would die. Wow, you're not actually attacking the arguments that I'm making. You're just saying that I wish I would die because you don't want me talking about the truth, because you don't want it shaking up your worldview and stuff like that about, I don't know, all these trannies and stuff like that. Joyce Myers, you've been watching Joyce Myers on TV, it's a tranny. You've been watching Joel Osteen on TV, it's a tranny. You've been watching all these guys, all these goons. You believe the TV? You believe the government. It goes hand in hand, the government and the TV and the mass media and stuff like that, pushing these trannies government. You need to wake up and see this earth is not a sphere, it's not a planet. Oh, so these government goons, evil, evil, evil government goons, you really need to protect your family from it. So if you're a dad and you're trying to have a child, the best advice that I would ever advise you is to escape Canada, because Canada is very evil. They're gonna, unless you work for a government position, of course, then you're an honorable person and stuff like that. And you're believing the state-approved doctrines of heliocentrism, which Julie Payette, the fraudess, puts out, the fraud goddess. It's not a person that actually penetrated through space. Julie Payette is not correct in what it's saying. The TV and stuff like that is always lying to you. So shoot your TV with a gun, and have guns to protect yourself from the evil government. They're going to come on your door and they're going to do something really, really wicked one day, because they are transgendered freakazoids, pushing abortions, pushing vaccines with thimerosal laced, and giving the children autism, and pushing this whole thing about chemotherapy. They're doctors of death. These evil government goons are very, very, very wicked. Read the New Testament for yourself. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll see you guys in a bit.